In as much as Donald Trump men have carried out their first hit, I want us to listen to this what will I call it? Should I call it a mouth-watering testimony over the stand of Trump on the issue of Nnamdi Kanu and what he thinks about the Biafran recognition? Trump versus Nigeria, that is what is being titled on this message. And I would like you to pay your utmost attention as you listen to this short clip before we venture into other headlines. But I would like you to listen this first and then we'll proceed. And as you're watching, please kindly subscribe, like, share, comment. And make sure you subscribe and follow us on all our social media handles. And my God must surely bless you. So please, enjoy the rest of the news. Thanks for watching in our area. Oya, let's go there.
Trump's stand could force Nigeria to release IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu. As of December 2025, U.S. President Donald Trump has taken a firm position on the persecution of Christians in Nigeria, declaring the country a country of particular concern for religious freedom violations and even threatening potential military action if the violence against Christians continues. While Trump has not directly commented on the life imprisonment sentence handed to Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, on November 20th, 2025, his strong rhetoric on protecting Nigeria's Christian population aligns closely with the grievances Kanu has long championed. Kanu's detention and conviction represent a grave injustice, and his release could be a pivotal step toward addressing the broader issues of marginalization, human rights abuses, and ethnic tensions that Trump has highlighted. President Trump has repeatedly described Christianity as facing an existential threat in Nigeria, attributing much of the violence to radical Islamist groups and criticizing the Nigerian government for failing to protect its citizens. In October and November 2025, he placed Nigeria on a religious freedom watch list and warned of consequences, including possible U.S. military intervention or aid cuts, if the mass slaughter of Christians persists. This marks a significant shift, resonating with concerns raised by U.S. lawmakers and advocacy groups about targeted violence against Christian communities, particularly in northern and southeastern regions. Trump's actions have ignited hope among many in Nigeria's Christian-majority southeast, where IPOB operates. Kanu himself, in a letter sent to Trump in early November 2025 before his sentencing, praised the president's declaration that the U.S. is prepared to act and urged an independent investigation into alleged killings of Christians and Igbo people. Framing his own imprisonment as part of a pattern of suppressing Judeo-Christian voices, Kanu positioned his struggle as intertwined with the broader fight against religious and ethnic persecution issues, now at the forefront of Trump's Nigeria policy. Nnamdi Kanu's life sentence on terrorism charges stems from a deeply flawed process. His 2021 extraordinary rendition from Kenya violated international law, as acknowledged by courts and human rights observers. The trial relied on repealed statutes, ignored prior appellate rulings in his favor, and was marred by accusations of political motivation aimed at silencing calls for self-determination. Legal experts have called the conviction a travesty, pointing to procedural errors, judicial overreach, and a failure to prove direct links to violence. IPOB has consistently maintained its commitment to nonviolence, advocating for a peaceful referendum on Biafran independence to address decades of Igbo marginalization. Kanu's broadcasts, often critical of the government, were exercises in free speech, yet they were twisted into evidence of incitement. His prolonged solitary detention has raised serious health concerns, further underscoring the humanitarian crisis at play. Trump's focus on ending anti-Christian violence in Nigeria presents a unique opportunity for reconciliation. Kanu's supporters argue that his imprisonment exacerbates tensions in the southeast. fueling unrest that the government labels as terrorism, but which stems from unresolved grievances. Releasing Kanu unconditionally would signal a commitment to dialogue, reduce violence, and allow focus on genuine security threats like Boko Haram and Fulani militias groups Trump has condemned. By freeing Kanu, Nigeria could demonstrate progress on the religious freedom issues Trump has flagged, potentially averting harsher U.S. measures. It would also honor international calls for justice, including from the UN, which has deemed aspects of his detention arbitrary. As Kanu noted in his letter, a U.S.-led inquiry could uncover truths about mass graves and extrajudicial killings, aligning with Trump's vow to protect persecuted Christians. Nnamdi Kanu's case is more than a legal matter, it's a symbol of Nigeria's deeper divisions. His life sentence risks intensifying conflict rather than resolving it. President Trump's principled stand on Christian persecution provides moral and diplomatic leverage to push for Kanu's release, paving the way for peace through justice, not repression. The international community, including the U.S. under Trump, should urge Nigeria to free Kanu, support a referendum on self-determination, and address root causes of unrest. True stability comes from inclusion and rights, not incarceration. Free Nnamdi Kanu, let justice prevail and hope flourish for Nigeria's southeast.
So, my people, I don't hear them. This one is a part of the headline that we have for us this morning. And today, they say today is Boxing Day, so I beg. No common person teach you. My hand no there for that one. Because anybody where you buy, government will then get hold of you. Anyway, another one where they here in a breaking U.S. has been conducting intelligence surveillance across Nigeria since November, according to the newest reports reaching us here. So, for the people who keep saying that Biafrans, Igbos are the one who go to report the insecurity of Nigeria to the U.S. government on the talk bagadash. Oh yeah, listen to the news in details. Don't forget, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Please follow us on all our social media handles.
United States has been conducting intelligence surveillance across Nigeria since November 2025. In late November, amid escalating concerns over religious violence and terrorism in Nigeria, the United States initiated a series of intelligence-gathering flights over vast regions of the country. These operations, conducted by contractor-operated aircraft based in neighboring Ghana, have sparked debates about the extent of U.S. involvement in West African security and the level of coordination with the Nigerian government. While initial reports suggested a unilateral approach, emerging details point to a more collaborative framework, highlighting the complexities of international counterterrorism efforts in a sovereign nation. The surveillance activities came to light through flight tracking data and statements from current and former U.S. officials, as detailed in a Reuters exclusive published on December 22, 2025. The aircraft, including models like the Gulfstream Phi operated by Tenax Aerospace, have been observed departing from Accra, Ghana, a known hub for U.S. military logistics in the region, and conducting missions over northern Nigeria, particularly areas plagued by insurgent groups such as Boko Haram, ISWAP, Islamic State West Africa Province, and bandits. These flights, which began around late November, focus on intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance, ISR, utilizing advanced sensors to monitor militant movements, communication networks, and potential threats. The impetus for these operations appears tied to statements from U.S. President Donald Trump, who in early November 2025 described the violence against Christian communities in Nigeria as an existential threat, hinting at potential U.S. intervention if the situation did not improve. This rhetoric followed reports of intensified attacks by Islamist militants, including Boko Haram's resurgence in the northeast and banditry in the northwest. Trump's administration, through the U.S. Africa Command, AFRICOM, has historically provided limited support to Nigeria, such as intelligence sharing and training, but balked at deeper involvement due to human rights concerns over Nigerian military practices. The recent flights mark a resumption of such activities, with some analysts viewing them as a preparatory step for more direct action, including possible drone strikes. Contrary to claims of complete secrecy, evidence suggests varying degrees of Nigerian awareness and involvement. On November 27, 2025, Nigerian President Bola Tinubu approved the formation of a Nigeria-U.S. joint working group aimed at enhancing security cooperation, potentially including intelligence sharing and technology transfers. A statement from a security analyst highlighted a U.S. spy plane conducting reconnaissance over northern Nigeria, gathering data on terrorist locations, and suggested imminent strikes from Ghana-based drones. However, the land-based component of surveillance remains less documented.
I hope you are subscribing and you are watching. I hope you are sharing as you are watching. And I hope you are also liking and commenting as you are watching. Enjoy the rest of the news.
While air operations dominate reports, whispers of ground-level intelligence networks potentially involving U.S. contractors or embedded assets circulate in online forums and local media. Some Nigerian commentators express unease, viewing the flights as an infringement on sovereignty, especially if conducted without explicit public consent. For instance, an ex-post claimed U.S. reconnaissance in western Nigeria from Ghana without announced permission, fueling speculation about behind-closed-doors agreements. Yet, official Nigerian responses have been muted.
So, my wonderful people, when I don't hear the whole message, you asking here Banaka, and they don't expect me to explain more than what you have just listened to now, because they said, how would I tell it? How would I say it? That not true one or no come with it. I have tried to convert to English. That say too much talk no there for evening mass. Ew, me and English. It's okay, no problem. It is well. I beg, make us circulate this message. As when you went to Yamagini, it's teaching time. Serves 9. But this time around, it will not set only 9, but it's going to serve something that is more than 9. Kachineke Mezioku.